In our last video, we were bitching at DSP's months-old problems about needing a new PC, due to, of all things, faulty fans and high temperatures. And here we are. He actually got it. I mean, the specifics of how this came to be are still a bit murky to us right now, but the fact that it's happening is incredible. He's got the PC, it's right there in front of him, and somehow, this is the result? I really gotta say, we spent some time commenting on DSP's antics from months ago, but this feels like the perfect segue into recent DSP. This is a big development in the Pigverse, and honestly, it's like the Omnissiah handed us a perfectly wrapped gift. So, let's see how Phil handles this monumental moment, by which I mean let's see how he inevitably turns it into a complete disaster. Because if there's one thing you can count on in the Pigverse, it's Phil turning a simple task into the greatest struggle mankind has ever faced.
So, here's what I'm gonna do.
Omnissiah saved me. We're 9 seconds into the fucking video and I'm already pausing. What in the goddamn fuck am I seeing here? From the shot, I can't really make out the fan configuration of the PCs, but I would suspect one is blowing exhaust into the other. Likewise, why is this room such a fucking mess? Why am I seeing cords laid across the fucking floor? Why is there so much junk in here? He spends the majority of his day in this room and this is his office. Why is it so messy? I work remotely and I try to keep my office looking nice, both because I need to be on camera sometimes and also because it's nice to have a clean room. What the fuck, man?
Alright, let's talk about this shot, or whatever the fuck you want to call this mess. This was DSP's chance, his moment to create something halfway decent for once. Unboxing and PC building videos are universally liked. People love seeing the process, the parts, the satisfying clicks and screws going in. It's an easy win for engagement, but nope. Like all things DSP, he doesn't half-ass it. He almost completely no-asses it. I mean, seriously, look at it. What is this setup? Why does he think this is a good shot? The man's awkwardly crouched over his PC and we can't see a damn thing inside the case. There's no focus, no composition, just a 40-something-year-old fumbling around like he's defusing a bomb. Why? Why would anyone want to watch this? We can't even see what he's doing. We can only hear him. And, oh, don't worry. The whining and complaining are coming, but for the love of the Omnissiah, this is beyond incompetent. It's like watching someone livestream their failure in real time. Which, come to think of it, this is exactly what it is.
I'm gonna shut down the PC, I'm gonna unplug it, make sure that there's no power going to it, we're gonna open it, and I'm going to install the capture card and the SSD right now.
Brace yourselves, viewers, because what you're about to witness is something truly unique. A grown man waging war with an SSD. Seriously, you probably haven't seen anyone struggle with this simple task as much as DSP does here. Trust us, it's painful to watch. We're talking over 5 minutes of this struggle in Memology's abridged version. The full saga? Who knows, probably long enough to need a Titan-class cogitator to endure it.
Honestly, after having watched DSP for 8 years, I still can't brace enough for how he explains things. It took him about 11 seconds to say, I'm installing a SSD in painful amounts of detail. The concept of brevity is more lost on this man-child than the concept of financial responsibility. And that's just sad, man.
So, the extra SSD that I got for it for storage, and this is what I'm gonna put all of the, obviously the video files that I'm capturing, is a Samsung 980 Pro 2 terabyte SSD. I just need to get the case open because it won't open. I might have to use a knife. So here's the box. It won't focus for some reason. Okay. There's the hard drive, or excuse me, the solid state drive. It's not a hard drive. It won't. Wow, the camera won't autofocus on it for some reason. It's an auto-focusing webcam. It will not focus on this SSD for some reason. Wow. There we go. Nice.
Let's for a moment ignore my earlier rant about his setup, because this wouldn't even be an issue if DSP had taken a moment to put together a decent workspace beforehand. But no, of course not. This man is apparently allergic to effort, so now we're stuck watching him struggle to focus his own camera. I mean, come on, it's not rocket science. Anyone who makes PC building videos or even reviews tech knows that showcasing the product is priority number one. Would it have killed him to set up a top-down view on a table? That would have solved the focus issue immediately. Not only that, but it would have made the whole video look presentable. Dare I say, almost professional. Instead, we get this mess of an angle where the most important parts of the video are out of frame, out of focus, or both. And yeah, I realize I'm wasting my breath here, critiquing something that already happened and on DSP no less. But damn, it's really just so infuriating to watch him consistently default to the absolute lowest effort option every time. God damn it.
Be calm, Lex Mechanic, lest I summon the apothecary to cleanse you. This goes back to his awful DSP tries it videos where he would put the camera down and aim it at the side of a plate. In fact, you don't even have to go back very far for this. He still does this shit on his, what's it called? Feasting with the King or something? His webcam is aimed at his face and he has to awkwardly tilt his paper plate, yes, a paper fucking plate, just to get it into view. I'm not really into real life blogging or whatever the hell you want to call it, but I do remember looking into authentic mukbang videos. For context, yes, I was watching the girl with Tevin. Neither she nor DSP know what the hell a mukbang is or how to properly frame a shot. I'd like to take this time to remind you all that there are teens who have the damn sense to buy a tripod and aim a shot. Lastly, please don't tell me this dumb son of a bitch is going to use a fucking knife to open his computer case. Emperor save me.
Obviously, I can't show this to you. It's the weird thing. It doesn't have a screw on the slot where you put the SSD. It's got this weird rotating tab. And I can't tell if you're supposed to pop the tab open because you can rotate it, but you can rotate it either way all the way. The SSD slightly doesn't fit. It fits into the slot. You know what I'm saying? You plug it into the slot, that's fine. But then when you try to set it down flat, it won't go flat because it's got this weird rotating tab. And it looks like what you're supposed to do is get the SSD behind the tab, then rotate the tab and it holds it in place. But you can't, it won't fit. It won't go flat past this tab. And the tab doesn't seem to remove. I'm trying to do it. It doesn't seem to remove enough. I've never seen nothing like this. It wasn't like this in the other motherboard for my other one. So I don't know what this is. It's some weird thing. Now, I don't even know what motherboard is in here because it didn't list the motherboard that came with this PC.
By the way, shout out to Haynes for sponsoring this 40-year-old man-child ass crack. Machine God, please deliver me a lobotomy.
Omnissiah, grant me strength. If this were the early 90s, DSP would probably stick to floppy disks just to avoid figuring out how the CD-ROM drive on his new PC works. The man takes one look at that rotating tab and instead of thinking, hey, this must serve a purpose, he just stares at it in utter confusion like a caveman discovering fire. I mean, at least cavemen had the sense to figure out how to use fire for their benefit. DSP, on the other hand, sees a simple mechanism and turns it into a personal vendetta. And let's be honest here, to DSP, this tab is probably some kind of puzzle boss invented by elitist book-smart nerds to mess with his precious income. Because why the fuck else would modern tech require even a little bit of adaptation, am I right? When I was installing my SSD for the first time in the NVMe slot, I ran into the same problem. There was no screw, no guide, nothing. But here's the thing, I saw the hole, I saw the indentation on the SSD, and I don't know, common sense kicked in. It's really not rocket science. If this is what DSP's business degree prepared him for, then honestly, I deserve an honorary one myself, just so I can spit at it in disgust for putting me on the same educational tier as this fucking animal. Obviously, no offense to our businessman-style viewers, of course, we love you all and send the Omnissiah's blessings your way. But DSP? Absolutely fucking not.
While the Lex Mechanic is off spreading the good word of the Omnissiah, I'm going to be the asshole here. I've built 2 PCs since moving into my current house, and I've been here for almost 3 years. Only the last PC had a NVMe SSD slot, and honestly, I had never installed this before. Like Wirt just said, it was a bit of common sense to figure it out. Likewise, I don't know why, but every PC I've built here has had some kind of issue. I remember staying up late on the weekends, most likely drunk, trying to figure out what motherboard error codes mean and trying to fix the issues. Turns out, it was just a few little things that culminated into a bigger issue. It was a quick fix once I understood what was wrong. Meanwhile, we have Phil here having a hard time with the fucking screw. I know I made a jab about paper plates before, but how much do you want to bet he only uses those because the dishwasher confounds him? I mean the appliance, not the horse.
Excuse me. It should say on the motherboard, it's definitely an Asus. I know that. Hold on. Gigabyte 8650M is the motherboard. Gigabyte 8650M. So, I gotta try to figure this out. How you're supposed to put the SSD in there.
I have to pause here just for a second to point out yet another flaw in DSP's ever-expanding codex of incompetence. Of all things, the man apparently can't read. I mean, he says his motherboard is a Gigabyte A650M, when in reality it's a B650M. It's right fucking there on the board. How do you mess that up? And look, I'm sorry for all these pauses, but holy shit, it's only been a few minutes and my cogitators are already screaming in agony, producing coil whine like they're about to short circuit from the sheer stupidity on display. The worst part is that we're just getting started. We haven't even gotten to the real mess yet. May the machine god guide us through this journey of idiocy, because I don't think my servos can handle much more of this fumbling, whining, and outright ignorance. DSP's the kind of guy who'd pray to the Omnissiah while holding the holy datasheet upside down. What in the name of the sacred standard template construct is even happening here?
I believe the term for this is heresy, or in modern speech, fucking bullshit. Personally, I'm amused that you assume DSP would even know which side was the front. He would most likely flip it over a few times, call it a puzzle boss, snort, and try to order DoorDash while in the fucking warp.
M2 goes in at an angle, correct. Rotate the tab, correct. Pull up and it locks the M2 down. So, pull up. When I rotate the tab, nothing happens. It just rotates in place and the SSD still won't fit. Are you saying when I rotate it all the way one direction, then I can pull it up? That's what he's saying. I guess I'll try it. I think that's what he's saying to do. All right, hold on.
I had to pause for a moment just to appreciate the absolute banger fast-forward music Memology dropped in here. I was genuinely vibing to the music, until we cut back to DSP's hunched-over figure, desperately trying to solve the unsolvable enigma that is the NVMe retention tab. It's like watching a Neanderthal try to decipher quantum mechanics, except significantly less entertaining.
You know, I would ask why watching a moron bang rocks together entertains you, but I know better than to intrude on the dark recesses of your mind. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty amused by what he's doing to his back and knees. I mean, I'm old, I have a bad back and bad knees, and I know this would get stressful after a while. Why not just put the case on a fucking table or something? It also allows you to rotate the case to get better angles and views. Actually, why the fuck am I even bothering to point this out? Dude is dead ass too skibbity riz to peep a table on the machine god.
What's hilarious is that these tabs are specifically designed to make installation easier by eliminating the need for a screw and a screwdriver. They're supposed to help people who aren't super familiar with PC building. But of course, once again, that concept is completely wasted on Phil. Instead, he's treating it like an ancient riddle left by the Omnissiah himself, designed to confound the unworthy. Anyway, let's keep this going. This is already a disaster and we're just getting warmed up.
It's complete crap. It's a stupid thing. It doesn't make it any easier at all. It's actually worse than just having a screw. Like, I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to figure it out and it doesn't work. So basically I twist this thing and it never moves. It never is in a position where you can put the SSD down flat, and it never pops up or loosens, so you can't get the SSD on it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I've turned it back and forth a bunch, and now I'm honest, it's actually starting to bend, and probably it's gonna break. The tab is a piece of shit. So I don't think this motherboard's very good.
It would honestly be really funny if DSP ended up breaking his brand new motherboard on the first try, just snapping that tab clean off like it owed him money. But let's be real here, if that happened, we all know his paypicks will swoop in like clockwork and fund the replacement. But only after a new marathon of guilt trips and beggments about how this catastrophe was completely out of his control. I can almost see it now. We'd be treating to this long sob story about how modern tech is too complicated, how the motherboard was a piece of shit, and how somehow this all ties back to detractors. Because nothing screams personal responsibility quite like blaming others for your own inability to figure out a retention tab.
Let's also make note that, according to DSP, the motherboard isn't good because of bus speeds, available PCIe slots, or anything like that. It's simply based on how easy it is to install a SSD with pig hoops. That's fucking it. Oh my fucking god.
No, I didn't break anything. The SSD's not even in there. Just rewind the stream to find out what the model is. I just told you a million times. I don't remember. It's not Asus. It's this gigabit or gigabyte or whatever. No, it doesn't have a screw hole. It has a weird thing sticking out where the screw should be that looks like a piece of plastic attached to a thin piece of like plastic. It's so hard to describe. It's weird as shit.
Okay, I don't even know what that means.
I might have to look it up on the internet right now because I got to do this. I got to finish. It's almost 9 o'clock. I got to get out of here. This is pissing me off. Going in.
Oh no, it's almost 9 o'clock. Better wrap this up so Phil can get to this nightly DoorDash and gin session. Does he still do that? I mean, probably. Anyway, let it be known that DSP, the self-proclaimed former PC hobbyist, got completely stumped by a tiny piece of plastic. This is the guy who claims he used to build PCs back in the day. Like, what does that even mean? Unless you're running a tech YouTube channel or working in IT, who the hell builds PCs as a hobby? Massive air quotes there, by the way. My guy probably installed one GPU upgrade and slapped in a stick of RAM back in 2007 and thought, holy shit, I'm Gamer's Nexus now, guys. It's the same energy as his Evo 4th place legend shtick. DSP has a knack for taking a single blip in his life, cranking it up to 11 and presenting himself as some kind of grandmaster. My guy played one shitty version of Street Fighter and got 4th because all the real pros skipped that event, and he's still dining out on it, calling himself a former fighting game pro. The same logic applies here. I mean, I've built PCs for friends and helped them pick components. Does that mean I get to claim I used to build PCs as a hobby like him? Where's my honorary business degree, Phil? Oh right, I probably have to frame it next to his so people would believe me.
I've never seen someone become this, I don't even know what to call it. Confounded, befuddled, confused over a fucking piece of plastic. These things are standardized and that particular piece is there so you don't need tools. I remember back in the day when I need to open my case was followed by, where's the damn screwdriver? Now, aside from installing or removing parts, I don't need tools for a lot of things. But again, this is the real adult. This is the guy who's far more logical and rational than all of us, regardless of whether he can define these terms or not. I'm over here trying to add derivation traits to rust structs generated from gRPC protofiles. But what DSP's doing? That's the real engine searing shit right there.
There's no instruction manual, Haseo. Doesn't exist. These things don't exist anymore.
I know we're pausing a lot here, but hey, look what I found. And it only took me like 30 seconds on Google. For people who are only listening in, I just put up a screenshot of Gigabyte's website where anyone can find the latest manuals, drivers, and other important shit for the new components. And you wanna know what else I found? An unboxing video for this motherboard. You know what it includes? That's right, a quick start leaflet. I mean, it's not a full manual, but still. Also, I don't know if I'm amused or sad at the fact that Haseo is still in this loser's stream chat. How much of a human piece of shit do you have to be to orbit DSP like that? I mean, grow a fucking spine, my man.
I would be inclined to agree, but how is a spine going to help DSP pay his taxes? Also, from the way Ket is, expanding, I'm sure he needs all the funds he can get.
By the way, 6 minutes and a few fast forward sections in, and we're still just figuring out how to install a fucking NVMe SSD into a fucking motherboard. Do you think the Omnissiah gives his hardest battles to his most faithful tech priests?
I actually doubt that. As we can see in Aphorisms 96.9, verily it is written that the Omnissiah grants his blessing to those who come well equipped with explosives. Unless you want to use explosives as an allegory for how DSP's concave Hank Hill ass is somehow exploding out of his pajamas, I don't think he counts.
Anyway, I'm gonna let the next clip play out a bit and then we'll go over an important detail. Pay attention now.
There, 650M SSD install. Okay, videos of Gigabyte B550M SSD install. Here's a video of it from September of last year. For some reason, he took out his graphics card, which I don't understand because the SSD goes under it. There it is. Oh, this is in the same one. This looks completely different from what I have. This is completely different from what I have. This is not the same motherboard, even though it has the same number listed on it. Yeah, this is a waste of time. What a crappy video. Explains nothing at all.
Wait a minute, did you hear that? Let's play it back.
Okay, videos of Gigabyte B550M SSD install. Here's a video of it. B550M SSD.
B550M.
Did you catch it? B550M instead of B650M? Chat, is this real? I'm pretty sure if you're watching instructions for a completely different motherboard model, then yeah, the fucking motherboard will be different. This is basic common sense. Where did this man learn to read? Wasn't he a valedictorian or something? Maybe the stories of his high school glory days were as exaggerated as his Evo run. Or maybe he's just drunk. I mean, both seem equally plausible at this point. And another thing, and it's maybe a nitpick, but he corrected his earlier nonsense A650M to B650M without so much as a whisper of acknowledgement. I mean, he did say B550M, so it wasn't all there, but I guess he couldn't change the 8 for a B without fucking something else up. If DSP were a software engineer, he'd probably just copy-paste someone else's code each time and then scratch his head like a monkey with brain damage, trying to figure out why it doesn't work. Like, dude, you were wrong earlier and now you're wrong again because you can't even search for the right damn model. Also, is this idiot really pulling up YouTube videos for instructions instead of, Googling the actual manual? I mean, this is what I would expect from some Gen Z kid who grew up on TikTok and prefers videos to text guides. But Phil? I mean, he's over 40, what's his excuse? This is next level idiocy, honestly. And of course, it wouldn't be Phil if he didn't just gratuitously shit on another creator that's very likely a lot smarter than he is. Just for shits and giggles. This man is so disconnected from reality, I wonder if he'd act like this in real life when interacting with other people.
From the way he described his job at the helicopter place, I'm pretty sure he did walk around with a smug fucking look on his face. Which is a bit poetic considering he wasn't qualified to begin with, was a literal nepotism hire, and then got canned when he outlived whatever sliver of usefulness he did provide. And what did he do after that? Nothing besides sit on his fat ass and spam video uploads to YouTube. I feel like there's a quote for this. Oh yeah, there is. Aphorisms 731. Grant a coward the excuse to retreat from the battlefield, and he will never fight again. Now, we just need to count all the battlefields Phil has run away from, and, I'm sorry, what the hell is an integer overflow error? What?
Yeah, here it is. How to install M2 SSD with a plastic clip on a gigabyte motherboard. That's what I need to know. Here it is. Why is there no volume on my fucking... There's no volume on my laptop. Hello? Function? I have no volume on my laptop for some reason. Great. Maybe I can figure it out without. Okay, so there we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, see? They twisted it and it popped open. How did they get it to pop open? Hold on. Okay.
You know what? As much as I'm curious to see DSP figuring out how to pap it open, I think I'm gonna just skip until he fixes this fucking retention tab fiasco. I'm kinda done with this, and I'm sure you are too. But don't worry, there's definitely more pain to be had yet.
Watch it right now. You will see it. He's willing. And it pops open. That looks different from mine. Okay, I just now. But mine doesn't have this text. This guy says don't have the wrap it open. Wow, this is stupid. This is stupid. So I do need to pop it open. I just know I have to do it manually. Show you this thing, and it pops open. I tried it, it didn't do that. And it's a small package, a little wrench. Okay. That was not fun. That was incredibly frustrating. I have no idea if I did it right. I'm pretty sure I did, but it did not fit nicely or snugly at all. Like basically it fit in the slot, right? But then the back of the case, like the metal on the back of the capture card would not line up properly. And I had to like angle it a certain way to get it to finally work, to angle and work. And then it popped in perfectly. So I hope it worked, and I hope I didn't break anything. Seriously. Now, guys, the stream's about to end, and we're at 118, and we have not hit the goal. The streak's about to end unless we get some contributions. Okay? Okay, looks like it's working. Let me see. Can I do this? Camera. What a weird view you guys are seeing now. I'm not on camera. Excuse me. Okay.
Somehow his snorts manage to sound even boomier when he's far from the mic than when he's right up against it. Truly an offensive display from our little beast of Nurgle. The Omnissiah's blessings are clearly absent here. Also, not gonna lie, I much prefer it when he's not on camera. It's less visual assault that way. More room to focus on his audio crimes against the Imperium.
Minor segue here, but why does he even use a camera? It doesn't offer any benefit to the stream. His visage is more grim than the 41st millennium. His movements are so alien and rigid that it just gives me that uncanny valley feeling. Oh my goodness, we don't have enough heavy flamers to purge all this heresy, do we?
So my new hard drive works. According to this, we're good, right? There it is. Drive D. We have a C and D. C is my Windows, you can see. And then D, my new storage drive. So this is good. That's working. But now, what about the capture device? I don't think it even detected it. So how do I figure that out? How do I get it to look for the capture device and do that, guys? I gotta get out of here.
Oh, fuck me. We just burned over 10 minutes watching DSP fumble with a tiny latch to mount an SSD, and now we're diving into the real deep shit. Troubleshooting software. If this man couldn't handle the sacred rites of hardware installation, how in the name of the Omnissiah is he going to navigate the arcane labyrinth of drivers and utilities? The machine's spirits are surely weeping right now. I can already feel the frustration coming. An endless loop of "it doesn't work, what do I do?" and blaming the tech instead of looking inwards. This dude's technology is like an uncalibrated servo skull. It drifts aimlessly, bumping into walls, incapable of doing anything meaningful. I got a really bad feeling about this, guys. The Adeptus Mechanicus would probably advise exterminatus on this entire setup, just to cleanse the heresy we're witnessing. But let's buckle down, say a few prayers, and carry on.
Yeah, okay, but how does that help me?
Download the Elgato drivers off of their website. Good point. So what's the name of the card? The 4K Pro. No results.
Wait, hold on. Before we begin this section, I'm a bit confused here. We just sat through over 10 minutes of this guy blindly fumbling with his SSD installation, only for him to finally consider Googling for help at the very end of that ordeal. But now, with the capture card, he defaults straight to the internet for guidance right off the bat? Make that make sense. That's probably the right move, but I'm still a bit perplexed. Where was this decision-making process during the SSD saga? Is this DSP's version of growth? Because if so, it's like watching a servitor trying to independently solve a Rubik's Cube. It's progress, technically, but damn if it isn't awkward and unintentionally hilarious to watch.
You know what else is hilarious to watch? Watching a faulty servo skull try to use the bathroom. You see it there, floating around and screaming out, "I need to pee, but I have no member," in binary. You know, I would say I'm going to hell for laughing at this, but we don't believe in that. Omnissiah be praised.
Firmware update? Oh, I don't have any of this. I don't have the capture utility. I didn't install anything. I think I have to get all this first, right? Yeah, see, I need the 4K capture utility and the 4K Pro driver or newer. So I need this, the driver. Oh my god. I don't know.
Real talk, mask off for a moment. I have a mother. I mean, don't we all? My mom's in her 60s, and this reaction from DSP, specifically that exasperated, I don't know, reminds me so much of her. It's the classic overwhelmed by information response, confronted with too much text on screen, immediately giving up and deciding the issue is impossible without even trying. The big difference here? DSP is about 20 years younger. He's not old enough to be a boomer, and he's lived most of his life in a post-internet world. He should have the capacity to deal with this stuff without spiraling into a full-on meltdown. But instead, he's hitting a wall like someone who just discovered AOL yesterday. It's almost impressive how quickly he gets defeated, before he even downloads the drivers or puts any actual effort to find a solution. Or maybe it's not frustration at all. Maybe this is just him trying to speedrun his way to slurp up more Black Friday deals on WWE champions. Priorities, am I right? Regardless, you can feel the resignation in his voice. He's already mentally checked out, and it's like he went in knowing that he wouldn't succeed and decided to preemptively throw in the towel.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a snob here. How do you even fuck this up? Again, the guy's running Windows on new hardware. All you have to do is likely install whatever third-party app this thing runs on, similar to Logitech or Corsair, or just download the fucking driver and install it. It's a matter of a few clicks, and he's making it seem like he has to hunt down a custom kernel just so his OS will boot. Oh wait, that's what I had to do. You know, I really just can't fathom the way this guy is being handed a box of food, complete with directions on the back, and size like he's being asked to design the Astronomicon or something.
Why is this so complicated?
Could this be any more complicated right now?
This it? I don't know. It just says 4K Pro on the box. That's all it says. Game capture 4K Pro is what it says. None. 4K. I mean, this is it. I don't know. Why is it so confusing? I don't know. This is confusing. It's none of these. It's literally none of these. Like, what are you talking about? Look. Game capture 4K Pro. That's all it says. It doesn't mention 60 at all anywhere here. This is Elgato 4K Pro, not game capture. All these are game capture, but it's not 60. So what the hell do I need to get? And why is it all different? Why don't they have just one that detects it? No, mine does do 60, but that's not what it's called. It's called the 4K Pro. It's not a 4K 60 Pro. It's just the 4K Pro. So how am I supposed to know what the drivers are for it? I have no clue what to get.
I let this one play out for a bit just to see if maybe, just maybe, he'd actually do something productive. Download something, click a link, anything. But no, I feel like I'm losing my grip on reality here. He keeps repeating that his capture card is the 4K Pro, making a huge deal about how it doesn't say 60 on the name. Like, that's fine, whatever. But then he hovers over the actual drivers for the Elgato 4K Pro, acknowledges it out loud, wonders if maybe this is it, and then immediately goes back to acting clueless and upset. Like, dude, you said it's the 4K Pro. There's the link for the 4K Pro. It's the exact same model name. Maybe start with that one? Just a thought. I honestly cannot comprehend the sheer depth of this man's stupidity. It's like staring into a warp without a Geller field. An endless, hostile void of incompetence. And here we are, bare and vulnerable, being dragged along for the ride. Please, just end my existence already. I can't do this anymore.
Honestly, with how painful it is to watch this not only once but several times, I'm sure the sweet release of Oblivion would be a mercy to the both of us. As Brother Words just said, he's sitting on the goddamn page staring down the goddamn link. It's like he thinks he has a Neuralink chip installed, assuming that was novel tech, that lets him click on links by staring at it with his milk-aged grimace of a mug. Like, bruh, just fucking do it! Just fucking do it! I'm dying here, man, come on!
I guess just this. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try. This might not even be it. This driver version is already installed. What? Great. Claims it was successful. So now how do I get the software? Software? Okay. This is the latest one. Ugh. Why is this so complicated? I gotta go, guys. I can only be here for like 10 more minutes. Seriously.
He lied.
So I guess the streak's gonna end because I'm setting up a new PC. Someone tipped $1 and says, insert an HDMI cable into your ass. Gee, thanks.
Absolute pig ups to the legend in chat who suggested DSP shoving an HDMI cable where even the Emperor's light dares not shine. Honestly, this might be the first sensible advice he's gotten all stream.
Why would you even waste your time giving this child advice? He's so fucking incapable of helping himself, incapable of reading directions, and following basic instructions. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He should have failed a long time ago. However, a combination of sheer nepotism and capitalism has kept him afloat. I don't even care if you're trying to grift him. Stop giving him your fucking money. The fuck is wrong with you guys?
Okay. Connect your capture device to get started. No capture device is found. Great. It's in. It's literally in. So we got a problem. What did I tell you guys? Did I not say I know that this is going to be a major undertaking for me and everything's not going to work? I said that, did I not? Did I not? 100%. I said, this is not just going to work. There's going to be problems. So it doesn't work. It's not detecting it.
I mean, I know hindsight is 20/20 and all, but if you knew this was going to be, and I quote, a major undertaking, why in the ever-living fuck would you decide to do it as a stream? Why not prepare everything beforehand so you could at least try to make this a smooth PC building experience? Then again, judging from the shot setup alone, DSP's channel is clearly where talent and effort go to die.
I feel like that implies talent and effort once existed. Not to run down memory lane, but this was a fat, out-of-shape alcoholic pointing a camera at his TV and spam uploading to YouTube. Everything since has been a measure of, oh, I'm years late to this, but I could make money off it, at the behest of his dear fans, likely behind the scenes.
Look, I get it, you have to fill your streams with something, but is this really the way to go? Does his chat actually enjoy watching him flounder while installing drivers and fumbling with hardware? It's like the complete opposite of entertainment. There's a reason movies and shows skip over the tedious minutiae of a character's daily lives. It's because it's boring. And yeah, I know vloggers exist, but even they put in some effort to make their mundane activities engaging. DSP? Nah, dude, he's like, here's a solid hour of me suffering with tech I don't understand. Enjoy! What a fucking treat. Actually, when I say it like that, it kinda sounds like a nice premise, not gonna lie. But nah, making this shit entertaining is way below DSP. I mean, it's not like his paypix won't bankroll his content regardless of its quality. Fucking disgusting, man.
What's fucking disgusting is that this dipshit unironically said on stream, it's not my job to make the stream entertaining, it's your job. I'm gonna steal a meme from Atlas for just a minute. Don't worry, boo, I still love your bones. Now, imagine you own a sandwich shop, and your customers come in and ask you for a sandwich, and you give them 2 pieces of bread and a pile of meat. What the hell is this? The customer cries. It's the sandwich you asked for, the pig roach replies. But this is just bread and meat. I ordered a sandwich, the customer says, pissed off as they should be. Look, Actoff snorts while he adjusts what remains of his hairline. It's not my job to make this sandwich delicious. That's your job. That's what you sound like, Phil. And I have nothing more to say than, can you please just fucking stop?
No, I mean, I just installed this. This doesn't mean that it's working. Claims it's already working. Look. Device not started. Look. Problem status. Device not started. I don't know what to do. Reboot the PC? Okay, well, let's restart the PC. I just want to make sure it doesn't show anything. I don't think this is going to work. And we're about to be out of time. So I guess there's no way for me to do this tonight, which is what I was afraid of. I knew it wouldn't be easy and just work. I knew it would give me problems. And I was 100% correct, right?
Once again, I have to beat a dead pig here, but if you knew this was going to be such an ordeal, why the hell would you stream it? Maybe sort it out on your own time. Hell, do literally anything else. I'm genuinely frustrated at this point because this absolute lunatic thinks this is actually good, meaningful, robust content. And let's not forget, he already guilt-tripped his viewers earlier with a quick backment of only getting 118 in tips. I mean, just imagine that for a second. Pulling in over $100 for this absolute bullshit. Not even solving problems or achieving something, but for whining and fumbling around like a clueless toddler. Truly, we live in a society.
You can call it that. I call it an infestation.
Thank you so much, Little Shake and Bake. I really appreciate you. Thank you for allowing us to continue the streak tonight. Let me find the $30 tip here. Animation. Apologies, everyone. At least I'm not angry. I'm frustrated, but I'm not angry like I was with the other PC. At least, right? Because I definitely was very angry with the other PC. I'm not angry. I wish it was easier. You know, I wish that it would have worked immediately. So now I didn't have to struggle. But of course, it wants me to struggle, right? It's not just going to work for me. It's going to you know, torture me, basically. Okay.
This right here is exactly why devices get dumbed down and streamlined at the expense of functionality, customization, and versatility. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for convenience. Being able to enjoy your hobbies or trade in a more meaningful and accessible way is great. But people like DSP are the reason why PC gaming gets this bad rep and why it's so often reduced to toxic elitism.
Yeah, I'm gonna step in here and say, no. I've been building PCs since high school, when I was studying for my A+ certification that I hilariously failed. These things really haven't changed in decades. RAM still only goes in one way, CPU has direction pins, PCIe slots have been standardized for a long time too. Absolutely no part of this is new, not even downloading drivers. This is just a case of a dumbass trying to do something above his pay grade, so in the case of DSP, damn near everything.
I get it, people can be assholes online throwing meaningless flame wars over platforms, but DSP perpetuates the "why is this so difficult, why doesn't it just work" stigma. He misrepresents the experience because he can't be bothered to do the bare minimum. He's used to pressing a button on a console and everything magically working, and that's fine for some users, But don't slander an alternative just because it requires a little care and attention to detail. This isn't even a PC versus console thing. Both platforms have their place and they cater to a wide variety of users. But when you misrepresent something as inherently difficult purely because of your own laziness, that's when it becomes problematic to me. I mean, you wouldn't adopt a pet if you weren't planning on taking care of it, right? So why would you get a PC without the intention of maintaining it, servicing it, and respecting its machine spirit? And hey, the same goes for consoles. While they don't require as much maintenance on the software side, you still need to at least place them in an appropriate place with good airflow, and sure keeps its vents clear of dust. We've already seen DSPs set up a few times in the past, and that shit's always as dusty as Mars after its schism. DSP treats this like it's supposed to do all the work for him, and it's honestly insulting. What a fucking joke of a person this guy is. I literally can't even.
As a final point here, what the hell happened with his animations? Why does he have to manually play them? Wasn't this automated before? Or, let me guess, the trolls are trying to ruin me, guys? Unfortunately, I disagree with the Lex mechanic. This is not a joke of a person. This is a joke of a sentient life form.
So that means we're at 152, which means, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even on camera, but it is official. We have hit streak number 85, and that means we have done it. Let's make it rain in the office here. Everyone look out, dodge. The coins are coming down. Thank you, little shake and bake. I appreciate that. Thank you for continuing the streak tonight. Try plugging something into the capture card. You think that you actually need to have something plugged into it to get it to work? I could try that. Hold on.
I guess I was so hyperfixated on this drivel and hammering out this script that I didn't even notice the goals hit bit on his stream overlay. Did we mention we've been gone for a bit? Because this nonsense wasn't here before. Is this man seriously doing vest style streaks now without the vest? And he's up to 85 streaks at 150 a pop? That's almost 13 grand. I mean, please, correct me if I'm wrong, because by the Omnissiah's grace, I cannot comprehend how these people bankroll this constantly. You might call it envy, and yeah, there might be a smidge of that in there, but it's mostly confusion. I mean, 150 bucks on its own isn't game-changing money, but 13 grand? That's kinda life-altering for a lot of people. And yet, here we are. DSP is somehow managing to milk this streak system into oblivion. I hate to say it again, but truly, we do live in a society.
Actually, let's do a bit of math here. Dipshit has hit his ridiculous goal 85 times. He streams twice a day, 6 times a week, so in 1 week he would hit the goal 12 times. 85 divided by 12 is about 7.1 weeks. Now, the goal is 150 per stream, so that's 300 per day, which comes up to about 1,800 per week. So in 1 month, this guy is making 7,200 bucks from tips alone. Again, it's not a flex, but just a point of comparison. That's almost as much as me making 6 figures. This doesn't account for any merch, any Patreon, or any behind the scenes stuff, or YouTube in general, just tips. For another point of comparison, I'm single and live alone with my beautiful doggo. If I were to double my personal expenses across the board and include all of my regular bills and debt, I still wouldn't be able to spend that much in a month. However, if you come back a few months from now and ask where all the money went, he'll most likely say, "It went to pay for stuff, stupid." Honestly, you know, I fucking don't even. Fuck this guy.
I got my gaming PC going into it now. Nope. Still no capture devices found. It doesn't work. I don't get it. It doesn't work. I don't know why. Try the other drivers. But now I have to go back to the website because I closed the whole PC and restarted it. So I have to go back to the Elgato website. Promise, there's different drivers for every single one. I don't know what I have. It doesn't even say on the box. The box literally just says 4K Pro. That's all it says on this box. It says Game Capture 4K Pro. So how do I know what I have? What am I supposed to do? Install every fucking driver in the hopes that one of them will eventually work? This is asinine. Where is it now? I can't even find it. Yeah, Game Capture 4K 60 Pro. Where do I get drivers for this thing? I don't see the drivers anymore. Where are they? Where were they before when I was searching? How the fuck do I get to the drivers? Now they're not even here anymore. How did I get to them before? Dude, I hate computers. I fucking hate computers. What am I supposed to do? I can't even find it now. Now they don't even show up anymore. You search for drivers, you get nothing. The firmware link, there's a firmware link. There is. Firmware update. Unplug HDMI cables from input output before starting the update. What the fuck? Look at all this bullshit. Look at this bullshit. This is insane. What they're telling you to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. This is nonsense, and I gotta go. I've had enough of this bullshit.
Oh no, not images and words on a screen. What the fuck is this bullshit indeed? I mean, look, I'm not claiming DSP is about to find a solution here, especially since I've never personally used a capture card and wouldn't know the exact steps either. But damn, it's infuriating to watch him just sit there, slack-jawed, ranting about how confusing and insane everything is without even trying to read or process what's on the screen. Dare I suggest that the solution might be hidden within these mysterious runes? Maybe, just maybe, if he stopped whining for a second and focused, he'd figure it out? Then again, this is the same guy who gave us timeless gems like, how do I fire the fucking gun? So, yeah, we're probably doomed.
I'm at a loss of words here. Again, this has not changed in a long time. You install some hardware, and if the OS you're using doesn't have a generic driver, you download the proprietary driver. This is so fucking simple.
So what usually I use one program, but now it's on the right program. How do you know? This is insane, you know? Then I have a different thing. It's a different program. How do I find it? What's this? What? No capture device found. You won't find the device. I don't understand what's going on. What am I supposed to do? Oh, microphone. It's me audio. What audio is it? It's me audio. Well, audio. It's like it's not but for some reason, how would it be? It's my audio. It's a device found. Does it make sense? Nothing can't figure out. Doesn't do anything. And I see a problem. You see this as a operator in. I push it in, put it all in, and it's not really back. It's not so yeah. Yes, we already restarted multiple times.
So, my opinion, this is bullshit. This is why I don't want to do any of this, because it doesn't work for me. What did I tell you guys? I outright said that this would not work, that this was going to be a problem, that if I had to install anything, it would not work. It's a miracle that I got the SSD to work, but I've already put an SSD into the gaming PC, so at least that worked, right?
Well, yeah, of course, the one thing that requires no setup, no drivers, and no configuration, except maybe initializing it, actually works. Congrats, Phil. You successfully inserted an SSD. A true modern-day tech savant, and honestly, it's been a while since I've installed an SSD myself. My PC still runs fine after nearly a decade, but even I know that troubleshooting involves more than just plugging it in and hoping for the best. This is the full extent of DSP's technical knowledge. No research, no reading, no real effort, just blind faith that the machine spirits will sort it out for him. Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if this guy can even walk and breathe at the same time.
But I'll tell you right now, I mean, I knew it. I fucking knew it. That this was gonna happen. So now what's wrong? Is it the motherboard? Is it the capture card? Is it the software? How do I know? How do I troubleshoot? Right? I don't know. I'm doing it myself. I have no idea what's going on. Right?
Spudwink took me $1. You're a pro gamer. Why do you still need a chat to handhold you?
I'd interject in a more robust style here, but Memology's edits sometimes do the talking for us. Big ups to this mad lad.
Here we go again. I just can't win. I can't win. If I can't get it working, try putting the graphics card into the lower slot and put this card into the higher slot. Well, I'm not doing that tonight. I'm out of time. I'm completely out of time. And tomorrow, I need to be able to do gameplay and put out content rather than me staring at the screen. This is not good, right?
There's this elusive, mysterious concept called off time. It's basically the moments in the day when you're not actively making money and instead focus on other responsibilities like solving problems, preparing for work, or, you know, actually troubleshooting your PC issues. But nope. For DSP, off time is apparently this sacred, untouchable period that cannot, must not be disturbed by anything remotely resembling effort. It's baffling, really. I know we've harped on this before, probably a dozen times in this video alone, but downtime is precisely when you should be fixing these problems so your stream doesn't have to endure this walking nightmare. Then again, he's still getting paid for this nonsense, so who cares, right? Fuck my life.
The fact that he's getting paid for this low-effort bullshit is exactly why he'll never stop doing this low-effort bullshit. Why would he invest more effort when the dude is pulling 6 figures doing, well, whatever the fuck this is? Personally, I really like to write code. I have a few projects I'm working on outside of my job. I have a Rust and Python GPT project going, and I also have a few server projects going. This is just the kind of shit you do when you actually have a passion for something. But Phil, what do we get out of Phil? drunk tweets, shit-posted schedules that no one gives a shit about, and likely sitting on the couch pulling JPEGs of sweaty men.
Yeah, I'm out of time. I can't. Either way, I can't do anything else tonight. I'm done. I'm completely done. I have no time to do anything else. What I gotta do is get my camera back where it belongs so I can do the daily wrap. I want to say thanks to those who did join and those who did support. It just sucks that it didn't work. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now with no capture.
It truly wouldn't be a DarkSydePhil clip without him slipping into his patented woe is me victim act. Every single time. It's like clockwork, really. When in doubt, blame the situation and act like the Chaos Gods have conspired against him. I'm so over this nonsense, and honestly, fuck everyone who supports this awful, awful person. Calling him a creator is an insult to the term itself, and I'm saying that with the biggest air quotes imaginable. Supporting this clown is like funding a perpetual motion machine of misery and mediocrity.
So, the PC works. That's the good news. The bad news is
that we'll probably have to cover the next act of this saga. I'm already dreading scripting and editing that one, but it's honestly pretty fun being on this side of the screen, so I guess we're looking forward to it. The rest of this clip is just DSP dragging out his ending segment as much as possible, as usual, probably making time for some last second pay picks to swoop in and drop a tip. I mean, I don't even know why, because his whales are known to leave tips even while he's offline, but whatever. Thanks for watching this absolute dumpster fire of a video, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye.
dude, I hate computers. I fucking hate computers.